Thanks for staying with us. Life has a way of testing our strengths in the most unexpected ways. Our guest for today, Mr. Femi Alex Adeboyejo, is a man whose story is both deeply painful and powerfully inspiring. A respected Nigerian businessman and humanitarian, he has experienced one of life's greatest heartbreaks, the sudden loss of his beloved wife to a heart attack. What makes his story remarkable is not just the tragedy itself, but the grace and courage with which he has chosen to respond. Instead of letting grief consume him, he has channeled his pain into purpose, dedicating his time, voice, and resources to raising awareness about heart health and hypertension prevention. Through his advocacy, he is turning personal loss into a message of hope, healing, and survival for others. His journey is a sobering call to every man and woman to listen to their bodies, to prioritize wellness, and to never ignore the subtle signs that something might be wrong. Today on Your View, we'll be delving into his story, a story of love, loss, resilience, and rediscovery, and exploring how we can all learn to care, not just for our hearts emotionally, but also physically and otherwise. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you. Welcome.
We are very, very sorry for your loss. It's not easy to lose someone who is most especially dear to, your heart. And I would like to start by asking you, what were some of the signs your wife probably complained about before the final passing?
Okay. She's managed high blood pressure for over 10 years, before 2023. So we've lived with it. I mean, it's just been something that we've come to understand that she has to live with in the house. And on that particular Friday, she woke up in the middle of the night. She said she had a headache. And I just encouraged her to take your drugs. I was scheduled to see a cardiologist that day. We just done our annual checkup. And then I was supposed to see this case. So I said, okay, you know what? Let's go to the hospital together. All right. And she runs a restaurant. So that morning, she decided to go to the restaurant early. I was supposed to join her, pick her up from the restaurant, and then we would go to see the cardiologist. All right. And I took a walk in the estate, got to the restaurant. Getting there, she was not in the restaurant. I asked her staff, she's in her office. I went to her office, the place was locked. So I called her. She said she planned to buy one or two things. So I walked down to a friend's, my younger brother's office, which was very close, just about 5 minutes away. And as soon as I got there, she called me that she was back. And I said, okay, I'm coming. But her voice was a bit shaky. So I said, what's wrong? She said, she's not feeling well. So I walked back to the restaurant. I got to her office, and the place was locked. I knocked and knocked, the door was not open. I went back. She's inside, so I called her number. The phone was ringing in the office, so I knew something was wrong. I called my brother, we broke the door, and there she was on the floor. We did CPR, we did off, we do first hospital, second hospital. She was DOA, and that was it.
And that was just it. She was on high blood pressure medication.
Yeah, she's been
Was she taking it regularly?
Yes, yes. In fact, she took it that morning, because when she woke up and said she had a headache, I said, okay, take your drugs. I mean, something that we've managed for a long time. So
it just highlights the fact that it's beyond medication. There's a lot of things that are also involved in the complications that can come from dealing with high blood pressure, hypertension. But what were the lessons that you learned? And I know that you started a foundation that has impacted on many lives since her passing. But what do you think? Because somebody is watching now and the person is like, hey, what can I do to prevent this kind of thing from happening? Like, what do you think, based on the experience and all the interactions you've had, could have been done to manage the situation better, so that those that are watching would also learn from?
Yeah, so I mean, hypertension, since 2023 to now, I've come to understand that hypertension is a national emergency, right? It's a silent killer. You never know what the issues are once you drop dead. I've lost 3 friends even from 2023 till now through the same thing. all right? And being at home at that time, when people come to pay a visit, everybody has a story of one uncle, of one sister, or someone somewhere, you know, because the symptoms are not such that it breaks you down. So people don't pay attention. All right,
you just be tired.
You just
the silent
probably,
killer.
you know, you're just tired. You're not sleeping well. A bit of this and that, but it doesn't break you down, and you're still moving. You're still doing what you have to do.
It's still functional.
So people don't pay attention to those symptoms, and that's why it's such a serious matter now. And you know, there used to be this thought, but it's about obesity. It's because you are big. It's because you are thinking. But I've come to find out that it's way, way, way beyond that. A lot of young people are now hypertensive because now a number of activities that we now do, very young people are now hypertensive. So there are so many dimensions to it. Our food, the nature of the kind of work we do, Lagos, traffic, so many things, you know, come together to put people in that kind of situation. And you just have to understand what it is all about and how to manage it. We were blessed, so it wasn't an issue of money, it wasn't an issue of drugs.
Lack of care.
But it was just that education was lacking.
Okay. So, my condolences, you know, once again. So, can you take us back to the diagnosis, the beginning of when you guys, what was happening with her, and how did you guys now find out that she was hypertensive? And had there ever been a situation where something like this happened? There was a trigger, or you know, there was a crisis. So, yes. Yeah.
So I can't even say precisely when we got to that point, but I know, I can remember, all I can remember is that she's been on hypertension for over 10 years, hypertensive drugs for over 10 years, and once in a while we go to see the cardiologist, you know, they check her, you know. But one thing I learned, because of the last 2 years, is that sometimes those drugs, the nature of your body adjusts to those drugs, so you need to change them. My wife was taking same drugs for 10 years, straight up. Yeah, the drug finishes, she just goes to the pharmacy, gets another one, and you know, rather than just going to the doctor
again to check
if it's effective, you know. So those kind of education are not available to people. Once they just go to the doctor, they say you have hypertension, they give you a drug, and
you just continue
like that.
The pharmacy just become their cardiologist going forward. You know,
that's so wrong.
So it's such a problem, you know, that's why you even see that people who have access to drugs, who are able to afford it, still, you know, die because of it. Because those drugs are, I'm not a medical personnel, so I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of how those drugs work.
That's very unfortunate.
It's something we don't pay attention to enough. Because many people just, my parents are on hypertension drug, but I don't think they've gone to see a cardiologist in a very long time. It's after the diagnosis back then, they know what their medicine is.
And then they just
keep buying it. And it might not be as effective as before. So that's a huge lesson learned from it.
But I think, okay. Thank you. No, because I just wanted to also chip in like that. Yes, it's important because like with my mom, she's on cholesterol drugs, and then you find out that she keeps going to the hospital because they change the drugs, and then they'll tell you when to step down, when not to step down, when not to stop using this medication, and then they put you on something else. You need to, sometimes it looks as if she's worrying too much and she's always going for checks and everything.
That worry is
but
important.
It's important because you need to know what's working, what's not working anymore, and change things up.
Because your body is constantly adjusting to those drugs.
It will continue to fight the medication. Your body fights the medication, and it's not, the medication is no more strong. So you are using me. Okay, let me give you another level. You know, so that's why you have to check.
So let's talk a bit more about your advocacy. So far, how far have you taken the advocacy? What sort of people have you reached out to? Who have you met? Do you have like a platform where people come together to talk about these issues, pass information, give education to people, or how does it run?
All right. So, let me just start like this. While at home, I think about a month, I was at home after passing for a month. A lot of people come to the house, just to pay their respect. And I became hypertensive immediately after the incident. So I had to be checking my blood pressure almost on the early basis. Everybody was concerned about me, all right? And we had this machine at the dining, the house. And so when people are around, I have to just go check. And one of those days, I just, a friend of was there, said, okay, come also. Have you checked your blood pressure? I said, hey, come, let's check. And he checked and his BP was over 200.
Wow.
And we now, and now it just occurred to me, so everybody that comes to just say hi, to pay condolence, I'll just insist
that,
check.
Have you checked your blood pressure? We can go and check. I mean, it was on the dining table. I was shocked. It blew me away that, over 70% of people who came to the house were hypertensive.
Jesus.
Everybody was just living, just normal.
That's why they call it the silent killer.
And many of them didn't even know. Many of them it was just the first time they were checking to be sure. And I was like, what? This is crazy, And just sitting down there and thinking about it, and something just dropped in my spirit that I had stopped so that others might start beating. And that was how the Holy Spirit just dropped that in my, me, and it became something that I just started to ruminate over, to think about, that it means that if everybody, people are in this kind of situation and they are not aware, then somebody needs to bring awareness to it. Somebody needs to start talking about it. Somebody needs to start doing something about it. So I just called a few friends a few months later who had some expertise around such things, and we gathered. I told them, this is what I want to do. And they registered the foundation, and then that was it. And then since then, it's been just September is 1 year that we started. We started on the anniversary of our passing. And it's been amazing. We've screened over 700 people. We do Twitter events every month that we've reached over 4 million people online, where people just come, talk about hypertension. We bring in a doctor, he shares his expertise on it, and people ask questions, and then we go to offices, we go to churches, we go to, we have a lot of volunteers, medical doctors,
and now your view.
About it.
And they just, we just go to those communities, we screen people for free, we give them drugs, we give them blood pressure machine if you are at risk. And then we have this deal with Lagos State health insurance. Health insurance is 15,000 naira per annum, so if you're at risk, we also pay for your insurance.
Health insurance. That's good.
For 1 year.
That's a good one.
So if you can't
so have you seen people who used sort of their lifestyle changes to correct high blood pressure?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so tell us about it.
I had to, because of course I was overweight at that time, and as before then, my blood pressure was not high, but immediately after that,
the stress
and everything just, and I was weighing 126 at that time, and I was going to the hospital regularly, I became a Babcock University Teaching Hospital. I was just going for all sorts of tests, all sorts of doctors and stuff, And one of those days, I met this young, talented doctor, a mental health doctor, I was talking, and he told me clearly that, look, where I am now, I'm at risk, and if I don't begin to make some lifestyle changes, this is going to get worse. And I need to drop my weight, and then to, start eating right and stuff. And so the following week I had to go and register at the gym.
How is it working out for you, sir?
I'm down to 119.
Oh, amazing.
From what were you
126.
126.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
I'm down to 119. And it's been a journey. I'd done weight loss before. I'd done one funny weight loss before. And I dropped drastically.
Crash. When they say you shouldn't do.
Yeah, no, you don't.
And I get everything and over back.
Yes, you add back.
But this time around, I have a different approach to it. It's just gradually systemic and get it done. And it has worked for me. My BP has been very stable afterwards.
Yeah. So let's talk about your community.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about when. Funny to say, I met his wife the same year she passed, and she's such an amazing person. But when we talk about the passing, I'm always excited when I hear stories about pain to purpose, you know, when you turn your grief and turn that process into a blessing. But we really don't talk about that journey. How did you manage the grief, and what were the support systems that you had in that season, so that somebody that is probably feeling overwhelmed by the grief they are going through would know that there is hope?
Yeah, I'm currently writing a book about it anyway. So I mean, it was the most difficult time of my life ever. My wife and I are very close. We're married for 20 years. I dated her 13 years before. So I've known her 33 years before she passed. So we were really very, very close. So it was a sudden thing. It wasn't as if she was sick. And
you had time to even
it was just
anything.
crazy. You know, but as God will have it, I live in a community, you know, where everything, immediately it happened, women in the community, with the estate where I lived, they made arrangements, they're bringing food to the house. I had cousins who moved into the house. My younger brother moved into the house. My kids were around at that time, you know, and all of those things, the church, everybody stood, they were around me. But in the course of it, I prayed, I asked God for direction, and, you know, God gave me steps to take. First was that I needed to accept it, which is what a lot of people struggle with. Acceptance is key. You have to accept she's gone. Nothing, no magic will happen, no miracle. Because, you know, you are always just thinking, why will this happen to me? You know? But acceptance is key. Second thing was, after accepting, I needed to take hold of myself. So I moved out of the house, I sold the house, sent my kids back to school, and got back to work 1 month after. And everybody thought I was crazy, but I mean, I'd seen, in that 1 month, I'd seen doctors so much, more than what I've seen them in 10 years. And I was becoming like a vegetable. I was like something that everybody was using to test something or the other. So I couldn't sleep from September to November. No sleep. Doctors gave me drugs up to 10 milligrams, and when they go to 10 milligrams, I say, you can't give me more than this because it start affecting your brain. So it was crazy, but each step, accepting, moving away from that environment, having a new experience. I had 7 guys moving. When I moved into the new house, I had 7, some of my friends, my cousin, 7 people moved in
with you.
Community.
Strong support.
Yeah, strong support. You know, and I was never alone. You know, people were always in the house. There's always reason to laugh. You know. So that support was very, very important for me all through that time.
Because of time, just tell us how, if people want to reach out, maybe to ask questions about the foundation, blood pressure issues, and all that, how do they reach you?
We have a website, the Tope Adeboyejo Foundation. Tope Adeboyejo Foundation. If they can, if there's a need for numbers, if you don't mind, I could give one.
But they could just
they will find a way to put it out there, because I'm sure people want to hear more.
Yeah,
you know,
and they want people to support us. We've been doing this with a few friends, and you know, so.
Okay, amazing. Well done, sir. Thank you so much for joining us to share, you know, your story, and we wish you all the best. I hope the kids are doing great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sure they are big boys and big girls now. Yes.
How old are your children now?
My son is 21. He's serving in Lagos. My daughter is studying abroad.
Okay, amazing. Well done, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And the Lord will give you more strength and hold you, you know, to carry on with the purpose that He has given to you. And I'm sure your wife is resting in heaven to see you later. Thank you so much, ladies, for today. Thank you so much. We had a good time, didn't we? Yes, we did. That's all we can take on the show today. We'll see you again for another lovely show. Stay with us. Oh, bye-bye. You're not staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.